Hi everybody, this is Bogus Reviews, and today I'm back with another weekly Walking Dead review. So this week's weekly Walking Dead review is going to be on the Walking Dead Skybound exclusive princess figure. So before we take a look at the princess, let's take a look at the accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with this knife. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we're seeing this specific knife. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is a brand new piece. And she really can't hold it the best in her hand, but you can get it to fit in there. If you wedge it in there at an angle, she can hold it. So there she is holding her knife. And it can also be stored on the sheath on her hip. Just pour it in like that. And it is kind of loose, so I feel like if you'd... Oh, I guess it isn't as loose as I thought it would be. It looks really loose because it's not down in there all the way. It won't go in all the way. Up next, she comes with her machine gun here. And it looks pretty good. The shells there have a little bit of paint detail to them. And it has a lot of sculpt detail, but as you can see, the paint from her hands are scratching off onto here. And the paint on here is scratching off onto her hands. If you can see right there. Like, first of all, her thumb isn't even painted on, which is pretty weird. So now let's go ahead and get her holding that. And she really can't hold it the best. You kind of have to force it to get in both hands. And then she'll do that. And then it'll fall out of her right hand. So that's pretty annoying. Another annoying thing is she didn't come with her main weapon. She uses this spear. And I really wish that they would have included that. I feel like they might sometime in the future do like a one where her goggles are down and then include the spear. I don't know. But I did find a pretty nifty hack right here. The Marvel Legends Nakia figure comes with the spear to Okoye. And I already have the Build-A-Figure. I just bought an extra one to make a Dora Milaje member. And I took the spear from that and cut a little bit off the bottom and gave to her. So there's how that looks. And it's not perfectly accurate to how the spear looks in the comic, but it's really similar. So that's a pretty nifty hack that I did so that she could actually have her spear. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So the head sculpt looks really nice. They definitely captured how the princess looks in the comics. People aren't really a fan of her character. I am, because it's something totally different. She's kind of like Jerry is in the TV show. She's just a really happy character. And she's very kind of weird too. And I don't know if the other members of the communities know how to take her, because of course you see she has this frizzy purple hair and this bright pink fur jacket on. But the hair looks really good. They cast it in black and then painted the purple over it. And it looks really nice. It's got a lot of great sculpting to it. And I also like what they did with the goggles here, the lenses in her goggles. They painted the black in certain areas. That way it makes it look like a glare on her goggles. That was a pretty nice touch. Looking at her handkerchief right here, you can see a little of it bleeds into her shirt. But they did a pretty nice job with the black on there, making it look like it's dirty. And then she has tons of sculpt detail to her pink fur jacket here. And the jacket itself is pretty soft and rubbery, so it really won't hinder her articulation. Her right arm does go down pretty tough, but it's not because of the jacket. I think it's just the joint. But yeah, the jacket looks really nice. And as I said, if you put the gun in her hands, the paint will scrape off. And that is unfortunate. I feel like the paint should be on there better so that when you do put it in her hands, because, not everyone's going to think of this or even collect Marvel Legends to get this spear to put in her hands. So, most people probably will use that gun. And it's unfortunate that it scrapes all the paint off of the inside of her hands. And over here on her right hand, they just didn't even bother painting her finger on. They just made it part of the glove. Which, it doesn't look bad, but, kind of looks funny. Her shirt also looks nice. Has some wrinkles in it. They didn't paint the buttons on, though, and that's a little bit of a letdown, because McFarlane Toys always does that. They pulled a Hasbro and didn't paint the buttons on. But she has a little bit of a wash of black over her shirt there. And her belt also looks nice. It has a slight texturing to it, as well as that wash of black over it. Looks pretty good. And her pants also have that wash of black. That's something that I really love that McFarlane does, is they usually give a black wash over the Walking Dead figures. I think they might even do it on the Stranger Things figures. But they do a black wash over the clothes to bring out a lot of the details like the wrinkles and stuff. And I think it really works. And they at least painted the buckles on her belts. They painted them silver. And she has some silver on her knee pads that kind of missed their mark. If you look really close there, you can see that it missed the mark right there and there. And so did this one. But if you have it back like that, it's really not noticeable. And then finally, here are her boots. And they have a little bit of a wash of gray over them, but they don't have a lot of detail. You know, they're just cast in that color. Actually, I think it's cast in black. And at first I was thinking that it was cast in gray and the black was painted over it, but no, it's cast in black and it has a little bit of gray over it. And then she has a little bit of tread on her boots at the bottom. So that's about all to go over with this figure. Now, I do have one complaint with the articulation, and I will get into that, since we're getting into the articulation now. So, her head is ball-jointed. It's a double ball joint, but she can only look down that far, and she can't look back at all. Her hair is soft towards the bottom, but it isn't, like, it's soft at the bottom, but it's harder at the top right here, so you can't get her looking up at all. She can move her head side to side. She has ball-jointed shoulders that can move out that far. Can't move out too far. She has single jointed elbow that's on a swivel. She has swivel at the wrist that can move side to side and up and down, and it spins all the way around with this joint here. That way you can get her with that hinge, or you can make it just a normal swivel. Now, here's the complaint with her articulation. Her torso is just really loose. If you have it back like that, you can see it turns pretty freely. And, hold on here. I don't know if you could see that, but it tends to do that a lot. So what I do is I kind of keep it like that, because if it's back like that, then she'll just look like someone hit her in the back. But she has a ball-jointed diaphragm that can move back and not forward at all, and it can move side to side. She has those double swivel hips that can only move out that far. She can kick forward all the way. She can kick back just a little bit. She has single-jointed knee that's on a swivel, and she has ball-jointed ankles that can move up all the way, just about down all the way, and also has a rocker to it, or pivot. That's what I was looking for. She also has pivot there. So now let's do some size comparisons. Let's get her holding her spear in two hands here. And there she is holding her spear in a more normal position. Like I said, it's not perfect, but I prefer that to the machine gun. Now, let's see if she's going to stand with this in her hand. It looks like she is. Okay, so now for the first size comparison, here she is next to Michonne. Because Michonne and a group of survivors from Alexandria, was it Alexandria and Hilltop? Or maybe it was just Alexandria. It's been a while since I read that issue. But they're the ones who encountered the princess. Here she is next to Michonne. I'd love a new Michonne figure. Like, this is all-out war Michonne. I want a new beginning Michonne. That would be really awesome. Because she doesn't wear the headband much anymore. That would be really awesome. So there she is next to Michonne. And I feel like she should be just a little bit shorter. I feel like Michonne should either be taller or the princess should be shorter. Maybe it's just because Michonne's kind of hunched over a little bit. And finally, here she is next to the New Beginning Rick figure. And most of the characters that she's interacted with in the comics, I mean, other than like Rick and Michonne, we don't have figures of. Erin, I can't remember if she interacts with Jesus. I think she might interact with Jesus. We do have that figure, but Eugene and Erin, we don't have those figures. There's just so many figures that need made from the Walking Dead comic and TV show. At least well, knock on wood, we're still getting comic figures. They're usually just exclusives, but at least we're still getting them. So, overall, I'd highly recommend this princess figure. I think it's a really awesome figure. If you're not a fan of this figure, don't pick it up. But if you're a fan of this character, I'd highly recommend picking it up because it is a really good figure. The only complaint I have is that she doesn't come with her spear. But, that's an easy fix for me. And honestly, if you wanted the spear, you could probably just find it on eBay and buy it and use it for her. So there is that option too if you want to do what I did. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.